Buongiorno, benvenuto. Another story? Yes. This one I chose. This is the time I stole Stella's shroom. The time I stole a shroom. Okay. Let's start. Okay. Let's be honest. Right now. The Funk Soul Brother. Check it out now. So, I re-listened to this story and I was falling asleep and I'm like, dude, I'm coming down off the energy drinks. I'm missing stuff. So I'm just gonna tell this story again, basically, but not the whole thing. So this is gonna be like a chopped and screwed story. I'm just gonna tell stuff I missed, then probably like edit it in other parts, or maybe not, but like some of the beginning is gonna be the original time I told this story, and then like a little bit later it's just gonna be now, and then maybe in between those there'll be some other stuff from the original time just placed in. But anyway, you know what? Maybe we should just tell this whole story again. Yeah. Let's start from the beginning. We'll tell this whole story again. And boom. So, this happened about a month ago, maybe? A month and a half ago. So, it's a day like any other day, though not really like any other day, because this is a day not like any other day. So it's like those other days that they were like, but not like it. So I would go to Stella's house like every day and knock on the door and be like, is Stella home? And her mom would come and be like, no, Stella's at home. Anyway, wait. I had so many energy drinks. I had like 3 5-hour energies, 2 giant, a giant Monster, a giant Nos, holy, because I don't want to do Coke, because I was just doing the 80s. I had a bunch of energy drinks yesterday too. I was also listening to past stories and I'm like, dude, I gotta articulate and enunciate more. Because like sometimes I don't even understand what the heck I'm saying. Because I'm like, what do you English man? Yeah. And there's an English man when this happened. Anyway. So yeah, I would go to Stella's house every day. I'd walk there and I'd be like, her mom would come, or ding dong. Hi, is Stella home? No, she went out. I'm still there? No, she's not. Blah blah blah. I think Stella just didn't want to talk to me. It was one of those like, whatever, or just no one would answer the door when her mom was gone, and I'm like, I know she would be home. I know Stella would be there. Be like, what the heck, bro? Or maybe sometimes she wouldn't. Anyway, so one day, whoa, did it just start raining? Okay, I'm trying to remember exactly how this. I started smoking because I started smoking again. Like I hardly ever smoke, but I was doing the 80s and the 70s. I'm like, I gotta smoke, and I wanted to get the THC oil. And this is another story. I drank the whole bottle of THC oil, and that is, I did it a few times, and that's another story, but that might be the next story, or 2 stories from now. Damn, might be one of the craziest ones. Probably one of the craziest stories that are gonna come, but I don't know, they're all crazy, and they're all not. Anyway, so yeah, I get pre-roll. Well, I drank that first and like I was, super high. We'll leave that for the other story. And then I would buy pre-rolls later on. And then I would there's bars beside every smoke shop that I would go to. There was two specific ones I'd go to, and there's a bar beside each of them. And I would always go to the bar and have some talks with people, and drink. And also, I would go buy wine and stuff too at the LCBO. And so this is like 2 weeks of like drinking. So I'm getting like drunker and drunker by the day, or by the days. Not like super drunk, but like I drink sometimes. Not like every day. But I was drinking and smoking in these 2 weeks. More so than I usually do, which is hardly ever. And I, one day, am drunk and high. And I'm like, yo, I'm going to go to Stella's house again. And we're going to hang out. Go. Take my walk. Get some pre-rolls or whatever. Maybe a bottle of something. I don't think I had a bottle of something at that time. No, I had pre-rolls, yeah. Pre-rolls. Go to Stella's. Knock. She's going to come. And we're going to smoke and hang out. Knock. No one's there. It's like 10:30 or maybe 9 o'clock. Mama's car's not even there. She works night shifts. So I'm like, yo. Whatever. Her front window's open. Beside the door. The, what's the window called? The big shop window. That big porch window. It's open. So I'm like, Stella. I'm saying something. I forget what I was saying. I was saying like, Stella, come out. Like, are you skunked or something? What are you doing, bro? Get out, move. Like, I was just saying stupid shit. Stupid inside jokes and stuff. And I'm thinking she's in there because, like, sometimes she wouldn't answer. She would be in her room and just not answer. Just not come answer the door. But she'd be in her room and, like, I'd see the light on and stuff. And I'd be like, oh, my God. So I'm just talking, thinking she's, like, in her bed. The light's not on. So I think maybe she's just in the dark, maybe sleeping. And she could hear me. So I'm thinking she's hearing me, giggling, laughing. I'm like, whatever. Okay, I'm going to go now. I said whatever I had to say. Make her laugh, whatever. So I'm about to start leaving. And I'm like, you know what? I'm possessed. And I don't know what possessed I to do this. But I decided I'm going to climb her backyard fence and throw rocks at her window like I did in high school. The last time I did that at Stella's house, or at anyone's house, was in high school. And that time, Stella, well, I was throwing rocks a bit, and then I climbed up on her awning, her patio awning thing, because her window was there, and then I knocked on it. And it was like 10:30 a.m. p.m., and this is in high school, right? This is like the day after, like, we got together. And I'm like, I'm going to go be like Romeo and be romantic, and like, we're going to have fun, because like, Stella's down. Stella's fun like that. Adventurous. We're adventurous people. So I'm on top of the awning and I'm knocking. Stella. She comes to the door, to the window, opens the curtain and is like, what the fuck are you doing? Get the fuck down from here. I'm gonna call the cops. And I was like, that is the furthest reaction I ever expected from you. Like, what the heck? So I got down from there. I'm like, geez, man. And I'm walking home super sad. I'm like, what the heck was that? Like, what the heck was that, dude? Like, we just got together yesterday. What the hell is that? I don't know. Maybe it was fear or something. So, who knows what it was? Maybe she just wanted to go to sleep. But, like, the cops, really? The cops? No one's talking, like, who? Like, who's talking about the cops, dude? You? No one's talking about the cops. We're bringing up the police for. Like, dude, this is not police-worthy situation. Just tell me to get down. You don't have to add cops. Anyway, so fast forward back to the present. I'm like, I'm gonna do that again. I don't even care anymore. And I'm in her backyard now, and I'm looking at the window. And I started throwing, I don't think I threw a rock. I just saw her window was open and the lights were off, and I was like, she's probably in there sleeping. She probably knows I'm back here. She probably knows I was like talking at the door. Maybe she doesn't know I'm back here, but she will. So I take out the phone and I start playing her music. And I'm like, I was playing Jumek's ex-best friend. And then I'm just thinking she's laughing, giggling, silently, pretending she's not there. And I'm like, Stella, you have to come out now. I gotta come save Princess from the castle, like from the dragon downstairs. And I'm thinking in my head like Super Mario and stuff, Romeo and Juliet or medieval times, fairy tales. That's what I'm thinking about. And I'm just thinking she's laughing and stuff, giggling, hoping she's gonna come out or look out the window and like just say something. Like, I'm like, yeah, come out the window. Say to me you're gonna call the cops. Just come out, say something. I don't even care. Nothing. I'm like, whatever. Okay, I'm gonna leave now. So I start turning to leave, and I look, and I see her sliding door, and it's just the screen door, and the sliding door's open. I'm like, yo, I can go inside and go up to her room and see her. So I walk up to the door and I open it, and I go in. I take off the shoes, and I walk up the stairs. I put on my phone flashlight. I'm like, dun dun dun. Put on the phone flashlight. I go up. I'm like, the lights are all off in the room. I'm like, maybe she's gonna be laying in her bed. So I turn the corner and I flash the light in her room. No one's there, except right on the ottoman, right in the middle of the room, right in the middle of the ottoman, like a pedestal with an enchanted sacred item, is one giant shroom. Like a hand-sized shroom. Like, this was a huge shroom. And I'm like, oh no. Bowser was like, hehehe, Mario, your princess is in another castle. She is now a shroom. Or here's a shroom instead. And I'm like, yahoo! I'm like, damn. So I look at the shroom, and I touch it, and I pick it up, and I put it back down. And then I just bless it. I just like do a little prayer to the shroom. I'm like, this shroom is ultimate and it shall help. Or, this shroom is consecrated. Basically, I enchant the shroom, okay? I put +5 prayer on the shroom and +6 spell and magic. And I put some mana in the shroom and stuff. Okay, so then I start leaving. I go outside of the house, put my shoes on, climb over the fence, and I start walking. And it's nighttime. It's like maybe 9:30 or 10. And then something comes to more possession. And it says, you know what would be so hilarious? If you go and eat that shroom. So I'm like, yo. I climb back over. And I'm already just giggling. I go back in. And I'm giggling. And I get that shroom. And I'm giggling. And I'm about to eat it right there. And the universe is like, no. You got to bring the shroom outside. The shroom's got to get fresh air first before you eat it. I'm like, okay, shroom, let's go. We're going to get fresh air. So I take it outside, and I'm giggling, and I'm just laughing now. And then I climb over the fence, and I'm still laughing. And then I eat that shroom, and I'm just laughing, chewing this thing and walking down the street. So then, so I have some joints, I guess, or something. Some pre-rolls, or I don't know if I had, maybe I did. I smoked some. Anyway, I'm just taking my walk. I'm just walking around the town, walking around the city. I may have went back home for a little bit, but I don't think so. I think I just walked around, and then the shroom started hitting. And I'm just laughing. Like, this is like the funniest thing to me. Like, I think this is so funny. Like, I just think this is hilarious that I ate that shroom. And finally the shroom starts kicking in. Now it's, it's getting wavy and wobbly. And it's getting swirly and open. And I'm like, I think this is the funniest thing in the world. Like, I think this is so funny that I ate this shroom. And I'm like, Stella's gonna come back and be like high on shrooms and be like, what the heck? Because I was thinking she was out there on shrooms like too. And I'm thinking she's gonna come back and be like, what the heck happened? What the hell? And just start tripping out. I'm thinking it's the funniest thing because of the Super Mario references and like the princess in the castle, and I'm Super Mario and I eat this shroom and I'm like, I gotta go find princess now. I think it's the funniest thing in the world. Like, I just think it's so funny. So I'm like, I want to go to the store, to the weed store, and I want to get a bottle of THC oil and I want to drink it with these shrooms. Oh, and like on that point of time when I was walking around, I start coming to like realize or like start thinking ideas like, yo, that's so funny how back in the day the only way was to go, like medieval times was like to go to the house and you got to go to the window, and that's why kids would be climbing up, and it's like climbing up balconies, and it's like the boy would always know the girl would be at home in her room, you know. Like, that's where you could find her because there's no phones and stuff, so it's like you have to go to her balcony, and like more so than not she'd probably be there. And then I was thinking, like, is that where this myth came from? Like, you got to save the princess from the castle, and there's like an evil dragon, and maybe the dragon was like a metaphor for the parent downstairs, like the the mad mom or the mad dad. Anyway, so I'm thinking about that stuff. I'm laughing. And so I call an Uber. And it gets connected, and it says Uber's 7 minutes away. And I'm just waiting for this Uber for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. I'm just like, dude, is this guy coming? It felt like it'd been 7 minutes, and then I check and it still says 7 minutes away, and I'm like, this guy hasn't moved. And this happens sometimes. Sometimes Ubers do that. It'll say like whatever minutes away, and like they haven't moved for a while. And I'm just like, dude, really? So I cancel it, and I call another one, and it pops up, and it's the same guy, and it says 7 minutes away. I'm like, dude, I canceled because you're taking too long. Like, what the heck, man? I texted him something, and he's like, lol, what? And I'm like, lol, I don't know, dude, I'm on shrooms right now. Because somehow I realized it hadn't been that long. Time dilated, so like 30 seconds felt like it was like an eternity. And I'm like, dude, why aren't you moving? And he's like, oh, yo, no worries, I'm coming to get you now. And he was like, it was like 2 minutes away or something like that. When I looked back, so I was like, oh, maybe, I don't know what the heck that was. I'm pretty high. So he pulls up, and I think I was texting him like, yo, I have the funniest thing to tell you too. All right, peace. Pulls up, and I get in this Uber, and I'm pissing laughing already. Like, I'm just like rocking back and forth, and he's like, what the fuck? He starts like I could feel his like energy, just like, what the hell? And he like looked at me with wide eyes, like kind of like peripheral vision, looking like, what the frick? I'm like, oh, and I went back. I'm like, sorry, dude. I'm like, let me tell you this story. So I start telling him, and man, I guess I was gonna say I'll just edit the part I told before into this, but we'll just say it now, see what's the better take, okay? And I start telling him about the pre-story, okay? Because I needed to establish, before I told him about I snuck in her house and took the shroom and ate it, I was telling the whole part of to establish our relationship, because I didn't want to just get into that and say that on shrooms and him be like, this kid just broke in somebody's house. I wanted to establish the relationship to be like, no, like it's like that between us. Like we're like family, you know? Like I could just walk in the house and be like, Ma, what are you cooking for dinner? You know? So, so I'm telling him that first. I'm like, yeah, there's this girl, right? Blah, blah, blah. And like, you know, I've known her forever. And then she's like, I'm going to marry you. And like, first we were like dealing when like high school. And she's like, I'm going to marry you. And I'm like, no, you're not. And like 10 years later, we got together. But like, oh, she's with another guy now and stuff. And I'm like, I'm just explaining this stuff. So, and I like, in my head, I'm like, I can't wait to get to the part. I can't wait to get to the part, the good part. I just got to establish this relationship first. And then like, I didn't realize that he must have been, maybe not, but like, that's what it seemed from what he started to say. But he was thinking like I was like coming to him like about relationship advice and stuff. I'm like, man, there's this girl. So like he starts coming back like, oh yeah, you know, women, you know, they'll be like this and like they want attention and blah blah blah, and then this, and you know, like I have this nephew and he's like your age, a little younger, and there's this girl he's known for so long, and they're going through the same like, and he just starts saying like really trying to give me advice, giving me proper advice about, you know how it is when you like start talking about something and you like broke up with a girl and you like start talking to someone and they start giving you the like, don't even worry about it, man, be strong, just focus on you, bro, like stuff like that. And I'm just like, oh no. I'm like, okay, I'll listen to you, but like, no, this is not what I have something funny to say. Like, I don't care about this. Like, I get it. Well, like, I'm just like trying to establish this relationship between us so I could just tell you this funny part. So I'm just letting him talk and like listening and like, you know, take it in, because he was saying intelligent things and things to get happiness back within a person that may be sad. You know, he's doing his proper best to speak his proper truth in a loving way. And I'm like, yeah, no, but after he was done, because then he got to the end of it, and he's like, yeah, but you know, what do I know, kind of thing. And I was like, yeah, but what I'm trying to say is, like, I went in her, because then I started telling her, like, I was explaining to him that, like, oh yeah, and I was playing music at her window just like earlier, and like, I'm thinking she's laughing, and he's like smiling, he's like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, and then like, yeah, I don't know if she was there or not. So then he started talking, and I'm like telling him, like, yeah, and then I was like, yeah, Princess has to save you, Princess, or what? I have to save Princess from Castle and stuff. And he's like, yeah, like Super Mario. I'm like, yeah, like Super Mario, right? So then that's when he starts going, and he says, yeah, but you know, I don't know, whatever you want to do, you know. And I'm like, yeah, I know, but thank you, but this is what I'm trying to say. I went in her house, because I told him at the beginning, like, I have the most hilarious story to tell you. I'm like, yeah, I just went in her house, and I thought I was going up there to see her, and it was just a shroom. And he's like, what? And I ate the shroom. And he's like, and I'm like, isn't that so hilarious? And he's like, that's hilarious. We're just jamming about that. Anyway, so he finally drops me off. I'm like, dude, it's like Super Mario for real, man. Such a shroom trip before the shroom trip. So I get out of the car. Thanks, man. Peace, bro. Go in, get my bottle of whatever the heck. I go in, and there's like there's a few guys in there. I'm just like, you guys should be on shrooms too. Well, no. I was just thinking, I went in there, I was like, wonder if they're gonna know I'm on shrooms, or if they're gonna find out I'm on shrooms by me talking to them, or maybe that'd be cool if they were on shrooms too. That'd be cool if I had a lot of shrooms to give to these guys. That'd be cool if I could give the shroom trip to other people, and I think I am. Probably am. I could probably get it. Probably practice a way to transmit my high to them. Anyway, so I buy the oil. What's your strongest oil? We got this one. Thank you. Get the strongest oil. I start leaving. I like down that thing instantly when I leave. I just sit on the bench and down it, or like walk down to a darker area with a shadow, and I just start drinking it. And I didn't go to the bar. Usually I'll go to the bar. Well, I've done that like twice, but this time no. So I'm like, I'm gonna be super high. THC and shrooms, no lie. In my mind's eye, all around in the sky, and then in my spine. And then I'm like, okay, I gotta go. And I walk back home, and I'm thinking Stella is also somewhere wandering about, because there's a high school right across the street from her house with like a forest and a park and stuff. So, and I'm like, maybe she's there. I'm gonna go find her. I'm gonna see if we can connect shroom trip to shroom trip, because I'm thinking she's also on shrooms. So I'm like, dude, if this is the same batch of shrooms, we're gonna find each other, because like we're both tripping on the same substance, so we're gonna find each other like magnets. We're gonna gravitate to each other. So I go take an Uber. Maybe I walk. I'm trying to think if I took an Uber. I don't know. I get to her house. I knock. No answer. It's like 11 at this point. All right. I'm going to go walk around, see if I can find you in the park. And if I can't, whatever. So I go looking around the park for like a millisecond. I'm like, I'm not going to put any effort into finding you. If I find you, that's cool. So I walk to the park, don't find her, whatever. I'm going to start walking. I start walking. I'm doing my stuff. I'm just having a good old trip. And then I get to, still at Applewood School. I was just walking around Applewood School. Or I was just walking around that high school. And then I get to, before I know it, I'm at this tree that I always meditate at. I'll skateboard at the school, and then there's this tree that I hop the fence, and I just go and I sit by this tree, and I sit against it, and I just meditate. And before I know it, I'm there. Or I think I was like, I'm gonna climb the fence and go to that tree I meditate at, and I start walking to it. And before I know it, I'm like standing in front of it, and there's this bubble. There's this huge force field like that you can like see, that you can perceive, like in the ether, just around this tree. And I'm like, holy, I made that by meditating here all the time. It's like an imprint, like an egg. I was like, whoa, that's so cool. Like I made that. It's like It's like now, just recently I started like thinking like, yo, it's like dogs when they pee and mark a tree. It's like humans meditate and like put their imprint, put their signature in a tree. I don't know, but you could see this, clearly perceive this bubble around the tree. It's not on any other tree, just the one I meditate at all the time. I meditate at a few trees. It's cool. There's this tree at the church, because at nighttime I'll meditate at a tree, and there's mosquitoes and they're so annoying. But at the church, there's a tree. There's never mosquitoes. Never mosquitoes. Just like that story about the dream in Japan where I smacked the giant mosquito in the dream and they all went away after that. Pretty cool. Anyway, so I'm like, that is so cool. That is so cool. I need to perceive this stuff not on shrooms. Like I need to I am there. We are there. We do perceive this not on shrooms. I mean, just in a different way. It's just like you're just used to it. If you were on shrooms your whole entire life and you got sober, you would perceive the bubble still. And you'd be like, whoa, that's so cool. There's a bubble around the tree. But yeah, I perceive the bubble when I'm not on shrooms. I usually will like look back at the tree and you could see something. Anyway, so I'm like, whatever. That's pretty sick. I start walking somewhere else. Who knows what I do? I started doing stuff. Maybe I went back home a bit. Started smoking more. Maybe came back outside. And at this point, it's like 3 a.m. And I'm like, Stella has to be home. Because like now I'm like, I need to tell her. Like I was expecting to like a few hours later into the trip, go to her house and like knock and she's there and be like, surprise, ta-da, I took the shroom, let's go trip. So like she would laugh and we would be both on shrooms like skipping jollily through the nighttime parkway rangers. But I knock and all I hear is the ESP. In ESP I just hear, I fucking hate you. I think she was home and she's like, I fucking hate you. She was probably in her bed at that point. I was like, and I rang the doorbell and she's like, I know you took it. Because she said she thought she was going psychotic the next day. Anyway, I don't know, maybe she wasn't there. Maybe I just perceived that. Maybe she did say I fucking hate you. So anyway, I'm like, whatever. I'm just going to go finish this trip and go to sleep. So I go home. And smoke another joint, I guess, and go to sleep. And I'm like, I'll find her tomorrow. I'll go tell her tomorrow. So it's the next day. Let's go. Ding dong. No one answers. Whatever. And I leave. I'll tell her tomorrow. I'll tell her the next day. Whatever. Spend the day doing whatever the heck I do. Go to sleep. Wake up the next day. Okay. Let's go to Stella's house. And I gotta find her and tell her I took the shroom. Ding dong. Can't find her. Okay, go back home, do whatever I do. Next day, okay, I'm just gonna text her. So I just start texting her. I make an Instagram account because I'm blocked on iMessage. I have to make an Instagram account and message her. So I message her, I'm like, or I could email her. I'm not blocked on email. That's what she's like. She's like, I'm blocking you on iMessage. Now you're demoted to email. When you get promoted, I will be able to talk to you on iMessage. When you get promoted from that, then we could hang out. Or no, then we could face call. Then when you're promoted to that, then we can FaceTime. Then when you're anyway, I don't know if that's what it's like. But anyway, so I start telling him like, Stella, shroom emoji. Stella shroom emoji. I took the shroom, Stella. I'm like laughing about that. Whatever, she doesn't answer. Okay, I delete the Instagram account. And then I go back. I'm like, I'm going to go knock on her door again. So, to get to her house, I have to pass the grocery store and the liquor store. So I'm like, I'm going to get a bottle of wine or something before I go. So I start walking to the liquor store and there's a guy standing there. And he stops me and I look into his eyes. And this man has the brightest, most beautiful blue eyes. Like they were fake. Like they had the contrast put up to the max and the saturation put up to the max only on his iris. Only on his irises. And has those sad blue eyes. He was the sad man behind blue eyes, man. That the Who was talking about. He was who the Who spoke of. Anyway, he was also happy. He had happiness in his eyes too. And he said, hey, can you get me a Mickey? I'll pay you like half. And I'm like, yeah, man, I'll get you a Mickey. What do you want? He's like, a Smirnoff Mickey. I'm like, okay, let's do this. We're getting drunk tonight, buddy. He's like, yeah. So I go in. Get his Smirnoff. I get a bottle of red wine, I think I got. Who knows what the heck I got? Probably red wine, because that's what I like to drink. And I come out. I'm like, where the heck is he? So I start walking. Oh, there he is. And who's next to him? We'll call this guy Shiva. So Shiva is there talking to him, and Shiva's Shiva. Shiva's always around. He just pops in out of nowhere, pops out of nowhere. He's always just Shiva. He just comes and goes and just, what up, dude? Like 2 months later, you just see him again, like random, like in the most random, like this guy, I'll just be like walking down the street and it's like 2 a.m. in the morning and I'm pissed drunk or some stupid shit. Or I had just been chilling with like elsewhere or something like a long time ago. And I walk by a bus stop and I see someone like dead in the bus stop, just laying on the benches, and I walk by and it's Shiva. Okay? And his phone's on the ground and I wake him up. Shiva, like, what are you doing, yo? Your phone's on the ground, bro. And he wakes up and then we have this huge conversation and then we go do something stupid. And then like 2 months later, I'll just be walking. It's like 11:30 p.m. and I'm trying to get home and then like I just hear, yo, what the fuck, or some shit. Like just like some like rough talk, and I turn and it's Shiva just coming down the road like, what's up, bro? What you trying to say? And I'm like, Shiva, it's me. No type of shit. And like he'll just be like, oh, I'm going to the Blue Lagoon, I'm about to get some pussy right now. And then we'll just start having like a conversation. He's drunk as hell and he calls a cab and he's like, goes to the Blue Lagoon and then gets a hooker, and like that's when then like 2 months later you see him again, like, you know, whatever. So like it's one of these. Okay, so like, yeah, there's this one time I saw Shiva. I was skateboarding all the way home from the airport. I used to skate there and skate back. I'm coming back, and on the way back, just 45 minutes of downhill park trail. Beautiful. And I get all the way to the plaza, to the trail beside the plaza. And who do I see? I see Shiva and 2 other guys. And I'm like, yo, Shiva. He's like, yo, what up? Yo, come here, man. Come say hi properly. I'm like, what up? Props, everybody. Trying to dap this one guy up. He's like, yo, he's trying to dap you up, man. Yo, he's trying to dap you up, man. Yo, he's trying to dap you up, man. He turns around. I'm like left hanging there. Anyway, she was like, yo, come. I'll give you some of this weed. Yo, daddy feeds his people. That's what he said. He gave just like 1.5 grams. Who knows? Maybe he gave 2 grams. He gave some weed. I'm like, oh, thanks, man. All right, peace, dude. I'm going to go smoke this. I turn around and I start skateboarding away. And 10 feet, I fall. 10 feet away, I yo, I push and like the heel hits the wheel. Heel hit the wheel and I keeled over. Oh, and I'm just like, I fell. None of them even noticed, but I had to scream I fell, and they all turned around like seeing me on the ground. It's great times. Anyway, back to the story. I come out of the liquor store and there he is with Blue. Him and Blue are just talking to each other. I'm like, Shiva, what up? And then I come up, here's your Mickey. Yo, let's go chill. We're gonna smoke. I got some pre-rolls. We're gonna smoke and stuff. And this guy's like, yo, Blue is like, do you drive? Because I need you to drive me home. I'm like, no, I don't drive, man, but I'll get you an Uber home, like whatever. He's like, all right. And like, I got this funny story to tell you. And I was gonna tell him about the Shroom thing. I was like, let's go sit. And we go to the parking lot and we go sit on the back of a truck. There's some delivery truck just parked, and we sit on the grate, on the foot grate on the back of it. And we just start drinking and smoking, and them 2 are talking because they know each other a lot. And I'm like, do you guys want to hear a story? And they're like, yeah. And they both just start talking again. I'm like, do you guys want to hear a story? Yeah. And then they both start talking again. I'm like, whatever. And then at some point, Blue was like, yeah, we get it. You're in the 6th world and we're in the 5th world. And I'm like, I get what he means, but no. And I said, hey, man, we're all in the same world, dude. And I also get what you mean. Because, yeah, people can think other people are superior. And I'm like, yeah, maybe you're drunk and I'm healthier than you. I don't know. But we're all equal. So it's like both. You're thinking both things. And you're also thinking I am also could also be inferior to you because who knows what. Anyway, so I'm like, I'll start going like, yo, I had to go get more pre-rolls or something. And I wanted to go to the store before it closed, because it closes at 11 and it was like 10:40 something. And I wanted to go to Stella's house, because like that's what I was going to do, but like ended up going to chill with Shiva and Blue and drink at the back of a truck. So I'm like, yo, because this guy wanted his Uber to drive home, and I was like, okay guys, I gotta like go, like I'll be back, like, because I wanted to tell the story quick and like get out quick, because I'm like, dudes, I gotta go. And I'm telling them like, I gotta go get pre-rolls before the thing closes, and I gotta go to someone's house, I gotta go to Stella's house, and like blah blah blah. And they start getting annoyed. I'm like, okay, yo, I gotta go. I'll be back in like 20 minutes. You guys gonna still be here? They're like, yeah, we'll still be here. I'm like, okay, I'll be in 20 minutes. So I just walk to Stella's house. And I had some pre-rolls on me. I don't know if I think I went to the pre-roll store first. Yeah, no, first I went to Stella's. Ding dong. Not there. I'm like, oh my God, when's this girl gonna be home? Like I wanna be like, haha, I took the Shroom. I wanna reveal it. I wanna make the big reveal. So then I just get an Uber quickly, go to the wheat store, get pre-rolls, come back, go to the delivery truck. They're gone. I'm like, these guys. I'm like, freaking Shiva. I'm like, nah, he has to be here. He wouldn't like, Shiva's Shiva. If he said he's gonna stay for like, and he's gonna be there in 20 minutes, he will. So I turn around, go back to the plaza. Oh, there they are. They're down there. They're at the plaza, just talking to some other people who came out of the bar. So I go, there's another bar at that plaza. So I go up to them. Yo, guys. Yo, all right, what up? Say hi to whoever they were talking to. This guy had his baby with him or something. What up, yo? All right, let's go. Shiva's like, yo, I'm going to pull out the AK and stuff. Talking about guns. I don't know what he's talking about. Shiva's funny. He always talks about like he's going to pull out the ting on you or something. So, yo, let's get an Uber. We call an Uber. We're going to go to Blue's house. Oh, I forgot this part. See, I forgot this part again. This is the exact way I forgot this part in the first time I told the story. When I came up to him, when I got Blue the Smirnoff, or like before I got him the Smirnoff, when he was talking to me outside, he slyly pulled out a little pill bottle, and there was all these like bright turquoise pills in it. And he puts it back in his pocket. Like he takes it out to like let me notice it and put it back in his pocket. And he's kind of like, you saw that, right? I'm like, what was that, man? He was like, oh, that's just some morphine. I'm like, can I have one? He's like, what was it for me, man? I'm like, oh, can I buy one? He's like, we'll talk about it later. Go get him the Smirnoff. He's like, nah, I can't sell them, man. They're for me. My friend gives them to me. He's talking about some girl who gets them for him, for his pain. And I'm like, I'll buy like one. If you want to sell it, I'll buy it. I'm like, whatever. And I just let it go. And then so then we blah, 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 drank whatever. Went to Stella, went to the Shroom, or went to the store, got the weed, whatever. Came back. Okay, let's get an Uber. Let's go to your house, Blue. And then we all get in an Uber. We all go. We get to this guy's apartment. We go up this elevator. He lives in an apartment in the valleys of Saga City, and we get up there. And I'm like, we're gonna order pizza, guys. You guys want pizza? He's like, yeah. We get in the apartment. We sit on his couch. He's got his bong on the table. He's got a bunch of pills on the table, random colors and shapes and sizes. He has his bong out, pieces and glass and weed and alcohol. I'm like, what are all these? He's like, oh, that's for my pain and my medicine and stuff. I'm like, cool. I'm like, what about that morphine, man? He's like, yeah, I'll let you try one. And like, if you want to buy some after, I'm like, okay. So first we're chilling, and then Blue gets up. He's like, yo, Devin, take a picture of us. Gives me his phone. He takes off his shirt, puts on his hat. Shiva comes beside him, and they both stand like, boom, boom, what you saying? And I take a picture of them. Pah! Here. He's like, sick, boom. I'm like, yo, blah, 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 we're talking. He's like, yo, we'll talk. We'll get up to the apartment, we'll talk. That's what he was saying about the morphine. And then she was like, oh, he knows what time it is. He knows what time it is. He's like, oh, take one and chew it. Gives me a pill. And I'm like, he's like, chew it. I'm like, okay, I chew it. He puts one in his mouth. He chews it. Shiva puts one in his mouth. He chews it. And then we go sit out on his balcony. And he has a couch on his balcony. And there's just a view. And on the ground, there's just cigarettes. Brand new cigarette boxes. Just like 4 of them just on the ground. You could just freely take. It was like a cigarette buffet. And I'm like, cool, cool, cool. I forget what cigarettes they were. It's that pack that's white and gold. And it has 2 B's on it. Like a B. Not a bumblebee, but the letter B. It's like white and gold. I don't know. It's just brand new boxes. And there's like cartons and shit of cigarettes everywhere. So we're just like chain smoking, waiting for this morphine to kick in. Sitting, we're all talking. She was like, oh, I'm going to pull out the AK. This kid's drunk. And I'm just laughing. I'm just laughing when he said, I'm going to pull out the AK. And then, and I'm chilling. We're chilling, all talking. All 3 of us on this couch looking at this city skyline at night. And I'm just waiting for this morphine to kick in. So Blue gets up and he goes inside. He's like, I'm going to go sleep. So he just takes a rest. And like you could see right behind you is his bedroom. Right behind on the balcony is the window to his bedroom. So you could just see him go inside to the right. Then he comes around and then you just see him appear in a room through the window on the left. And he drops in his bed and just dies. Just conks out. And I'm like, yo, Blue, can I have a cigarette? He's like, yeah. So Shiva and I are just smoking cigarettes and we're smoking joints. She was like, dude, I feel human, man. Like, we're talking. We're having the talks. Shiva and I are having the talks. And he's like, dude, drinking, man. Like, I just got to let it go. I just got to let it go. And, like, I've been hearing about meditation. And I'm like, dude, if you meditate, you will let it go. If you meditate, you will let it go. And he thought about that. And it was funny because before I was like, yo, I want to go to Wally's. I want to drink. I want to go drink more. And he's like, oh, Wally's is open. Because like Wally's is this like bar that it's open forever. And like they secretly sell you beers. You could like, you go buy beer and like they don't sell beer, but you could just ask for beer secretly and they'll give you a big a case of Coca-Cola with beers in it and stuff. You know, it's like that. They're like, Wally's, man. Wally's is a legendary place. Like Wally's should be in music videos and stuff like that. Anyway, so Blue's like, no, we're not going to Wally's. No, you don't want to do that. You don't want to take this morphine and go drink. I'm like, bro, I don't give a shiz. I'll take this morphine and go drink and go take freaking heroin and go do coke and go freaking take shrooms and I'll go jump off the CN Tower with a freaking parachute, boy. Anyway, we're chilling more. And this morphine just starts kicking in and I'm like, what the? It starts kicking in before he talks about the letting go of drinking. And I'm like, dude, I just became a ball of light. Soft, pillowy light. Like a cloud. A cloud inside of a warm puppy. Inside of a cloud. Inside of a warm ball of light. And I'm like, holy, if I took 4 of these, what the heck? This is crazy. This is cool. And that's when Shiva and I just started talking. He's like, I feel human, man. And he's like, I gotta let it go. I gotta let the drinking go, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, and we're smoking and still smoking cigs and smoking joints. And he's like, you know, I'm crashing here, right? I'm like, yeah. Anyway, there's a pizza. There's a damn pizza inside. And I'm like, I'm not even hungry, but you guys get that pizza. What kind of pizza you want? Just cheese. All right. Big ass cheese pizza comes, whatever. And then I'm like, all right, yo, peace, Shiva. I'm going to go. Yo, peace, Blue. And I get up to leave and she was like, yo, whose house is this again? She was asking funny questions like that. Like he was so drunk. I'm like, it's this guy's, man. It's Blue's. She's like, all right. And I go inside, and he gets up too, and he comes inside, and then he starts eating pizza. I'm like, all right, yo, peace, yo. So I leave. Go downstairs. I don't even remember, but I call an Uber. But I don't even remember calling this Uber. But I remember the ride, and I remember the exit. So I get in this Uber, and he starts driving. I go to. I tell the Uber to go to the high school across the street from Stella's, because I'm gonna go knock there again and see if Stella's home to say, hey, I took the Shroom, but hey, I'm on morphine right now. So I get to the high school, and as we're pulling up to this high school, I'm drunk too, so I'm just like drunk and on morphine. We're pulling up to this high school, and it starts coming up. It starts coming up, and it's in the esophagus. Now it's in the pit of the throat. Now it's near the Adam's apple, and I'm like, dude, hurry up and get to the school. He pulls in. I'm like, he's like, okay, bye. I'm like, okay, good night. I open the Uber door. I freaking fall. I just fall out, barfing as I'm falling out, and I just fall out onto the grass, and I'm just dead there on the grass. And I close the door, like probably with my foot or my hand or something like that. Who knows? And then he drives off, and I'm just on the ground dead, like. And I'm just laying there. I'm laying there like I'm on Quaaludes, like Wolf of Wall Street. That scene, remember? And there's just this pile of barf. So I start prone crawling away from the barf, and then I roll over, and I'm rolling away to get away from the barf, but I still need to lay down, and there's like a fence in the way, so I just hit the fence. So I'm like against the fence and just dead on the ground. And I'm there, just like, okay, I gotta stay here for a while until I muster up the energy to get up. And I'm probably laying there for like 20 minutes, 15 minutes maybe. Maybe not that long, but probably, I would say at least 10. Finally, I roll over on my back or something. Or like I roll over into another position. It's like I'm gonna get up, but I'm getting up in steps. So it's like, say you're laying on your side, you have to or say you're laying on your stomach, you have to roll over on your side. Okay. Like the whole, if you were getting up and it was one motion, it'd be like roll over, put your leg there, put your arm on the ground, push up and get up. It was like in steps, very slow motion. So roll over in slow-mo. Okay. Put my palm to the ground. Okay. Now push it. Okay. Now get my knee there. Okay. And then finally I get up and I start stumbling. And I'm back. Okay. Then I walked to her house. Well, I don't even think I went. I think I just said, no, I'm not even going to go. I'm just going to go home now. Or I may have went and knocked on her door, but I don't think so. So I start strutting along home, and I get home. And it's like 2 a.m. probably. And I go into the back pocket where the key usually is, and I don't feel no key, and I'm like, no. And I'm like digging into this pocket. I'm like every corner and crevice. I'm like, it's here. It's not here. I'm like every pocket. I'm checking every pocket, every stitch. I'm like, I'm not ringing this doorbell and waking up the parents, because tomorrow's Monday. I could have done that, but I don't like doing that. Like, I don't want to do that. So I'm like, oh my God. I'm not thinking properly. I don't remember if I thought I dropped it. I probably did, but I probably just fleeted by my mind. I just remember like, damn, I'm gonna go break the window. Cause like when I was on the ground, I like lost the key. I lost my bandana. I use a bandana for a mask. And I went back the next day and found it. Actually, it was at the school, and I found the bandana. I found the key on the ground. I was like, okay, cool. But like by the time I got home that night, I was like, too ridiculous to just be like, I gotta go back and get the key. I just broke through the window or something. I didn't want to like knock or anything because it was like 3 a.m. Just like I just would. If sometimes this would happen, it happened like a few times where I'd get locked out, and then it'd be really late, and I wouldn't want to wake anyone up. So I would just go cut the screen open in my bedroom window and then go through it, and then fix the screen the next day. So that's what I did. I broke through the screen, and I'm like going through this window, and I'm going through it, and it's the basement window, so like the bed's right below, but it's a drop, so I'm like going through it in my stomach, on my stomach, because it's like the window's to the floor, and you have to go through the garden, break it open. I cut it open with my key or something, and like start going through like head first, and then I'm hanging upside down, and I just drop boom in my bed from the window, from like the ceiling of the basement into my bed. I'm like boing boing boing, on that fur comforter NASA memory foam mattress. Boing. Caught me like superhero would catch a damsel in distress. And I'm just laying there, and then I lay there for a bit, and I Frankenstein, get up. I go to the shower, boom, shower, come back. I'm like, darn, homie, gotta fix that dumb thing. And I'm just like, dude, that's karma for taking that shroom, because now I gotta pay probably the same amount of money to fix that stupid thing. And I'm like, but who knows what karma is, because like if I found Stella, we would have just done something else, but we would have just bought more drugs, and I would have paid for it. I would have made up for it, but whatever. I did anyway. Maybe that's not, whatever. It's karma for whatever. It's not karma for that. It's karma for life. It's just life equations. Nothing had to happen. Nothing like that had to happen at all. So anyway, then I go conk out, go to sleep, wake up, whatever. And then whatever, work. Come home. And now, not today, but that day, the next day, the Monday, I'm like, yo, I gotta go to Stella's house. Ding dong, no one's home. Holy, when am I gonna tell this girl about this shroom? Whatever, I start leaving. I turn the corner of the cul-de-sac, and look who the heck it is. Just got off the bus. The bus is just passing by behind her. It's Stella, holding her little shopping bags, wearing lipstick and hearts on her eyelids. Turquoise lipstick. The audio cut out. Does that sometimes. Did that on the freestyle, just cut out. Cuts out like one word so often. This thing better stop. You better stop cutting words out. DAW die. Like a raver. And she's like, rave? She said something about going to the rave tonight. I'm going to get a man at the club, she told me, because she was showing me her like new stuff she bought. She's like, first she comes up smiling like, Devin, you know, we're like, oh, and then she just puts her hands on her cheek like, and shakes her head like, Devin, you're gonna go to jail. You can't be doing that. You can't take shrooms. I'm just like, oh my god, with the jail and the like, shh, shut up. no, this is not jail. Like, no one's talking about jail. Like, why are you bringing up jail? Like, you're talking about jail, I guess. But, like, no one's talking, like, why is that the first thing in your head? Like, just have fun. No one's talking about jail. No one's going to jail, dude. Like, if this was guy friends or the boys or cousins or sister or brother and I did that, it would just be funny. It wouldn't be jail. Like, no one would talk about jail. Relax. Relax. Have fun. Like, why is that the first thing you think of? Why? Why? Be with oneself. We are each other. We are together. We are one. Relax. I didn't kill your mother. I took a shroom and thought it was the funniest thing and then came to tell you about it. Anyway, so we start walking and I'm like, I was going to buy her, like, what's the word? Reimburse. I'm going to reimburse you, you know? So we start walking together to her house and then she's like, okay, we're talking about it. And she's like, yeah, I have these stuff because I'm going to have to be a fox for this photo shoot, whatever. I'm like, cool. And then we get to, like, near her driveway and she's like, okay, bye. And I'm like, okay, you got a text? She's like, not today. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. And she's like, I want my straightener back too, because she wanted to get her straightener. She like left it at my house. And I'm like, okay, come get it. He's like, I would be happy if you just left it right here. Right here. And she's pointing to her mailbox, the little part where the newspaper goes under it. And a shroom. And I want a shroom. I'm like, okay. So I leave. And like, I understand the jail thing, you know, like, I get it, like, yeah, but we're like, our relationship is not that. Like, we're like family, dude. Like, we've known each other forever. You're not just some random girl that I just like sneakily, evilly broke into your house and stole from you. Like, it was all fun, you know? And that's where you must have a trusting heart, or else that's like over the top. It's like the mathematics and geometry of that is not in line with God and like love. It's just like, dude. And at the same time, it is in line with God. It is both, and it is none, and it is one or the other in many spectral ways. Wake up. We're not talking about jail. Like, this is not like, dude, where are you? Come home. Where are you? You know? Like, look at the situation first. Get the fear out. It's not jail situation. It's just fun. We're just having fun. But I get it. I do get it. Though. Relax. And so, man. Holy, what was this? That's crossed over into this too. I'm looking at the notes. I just looked at the notes and I have. Oh yeah, okay. So I go home, and I think later that night, or I go home. It might have been later that night. That same day, I was like, that same day, I'm like, yo, I'm gonna work. It might have been the same day or the day after. Though I think it might have been the same day I got home and I'm like, you know what? I haven't worked on the 80s song in a while because F yayo. But I'm going to buy some yayo. I'm going to buy an 8-ball and work on this song because, well, edit it. Because I have so many things, recorded and all these bits and pieces. And it's fun to record. And then when it's time to edit, you're like, yo, I'm just like, this is so tedious. I used to work super manically. There used to be a time when I would work manically and have so much fun editing. And, then I started to be like, oh, I don't want to edit this stuff. It's just so long and boring. Though now I've banished such thoughts and I found joy again in sitting there and editing. But I remember in Japan, I'd be like, I need to edit this stuff, and like nothing makes me want to edit. So like at home before Japan, I like procrastinate so much, and I'd edit, then procrastinate so much. I'd work like an hour a month on this stuff, and then I get to Japan and I'm like, I need to move my laptop around. I need to move my stuff around. So I'd take my stuff to like different restaurants and work there, and like that would kind of motivate me more because it'd be like feng shui. I would be able to have a different environment and it'd make me work more. And then I started drinking tea at the Denny's all you could drink tea in their Wi-Fi spot, and I would just sit there and just chug tea and be like, I'm on caffeine, and I would edit. And then I came to the apartment and I'm like, I'm not going to Denny's anymore. I'm losing my money now. And I would start being like, nothing. I don't want to edit this stuff. I need to find out a way. Okay, go to the vending machine outside, get coffees and teas and Red Bulls. No, first coffees, and I'm drinking coffee, and then I'm just like, dude, I'm just procrastinating, but I'm just procrastinating on caffeine. And then I'm like, okay, maybe Red Bulls and energy drinks. I'd go get some energy drinks and whatever the heck there was, Red Bulls and this random energy drink that had like the Abstergo symbol on it, it looked like. Drink those, chug those. Dude, I'm still procrastinating energetically. And then I'm just like, okay, you know what? So whatever, years later pass, and then we're here now. And I'm like, I'm going to do the 80s song. I need to edit it. I'm like, dude, I'm just going to be like, what? Maybe 80s producer. We'll just be doing coke, editing. Okay, let's try that. Maybe that'll make me want to motivate me to edit. Okay, let's buy that 8-ball. Channel the 80s with that coke. The 80s ball. And just do lines and edit. So I call the guy. Oh no, I don't have any links because I delete them. I would just delete them. If I had a coke link, I would just delete it. I would just, for the 80s or the 70s, whatever, then I would snort it, like a gram, and then I would just throw the entire 8-ball out and then delete the link. And I did that like 4 times during like a 2-year span, because I've been working on the 80s and 70s for like 2 years and have gotten an 8-ball like 4 times and have thrown half of it out every time. More than half of it out. Like 70% of it out. So anyway, I'm like, I gotta go find a link. I'm gonna go to the plaza and just ask around. I go to a bar. It's my first time going in this bar, this new bar that opened at the plaza. I go in and there's people there, and I sit beside this guy, and then we start talking. And then I finally am like, oh, then he's like, yeah, like, how do you think this, like, we're talking about money and stuff. He's like, money's out there, man. Like, it's easy. Life is easy. You just have to go out and get it. We're talking about it. I'm like, yeah. And he's like, like, how do you think this place gets money? They don't get customers. They sell coke. And I'm like, oh. I'm like, that's my cue. That's the cue. I was trying to find a way to just come out and ask. Like, maybe I could have just came out and asked out of nowhere, but I was like, that's pretty good. I was just kind of waiting until we stopped the conversation of the money. but you mentioned coke, so do you have any links? He's like, nah, I don't got any links. He's like, why? What do you need? I'm like, just like a gram or a half gram. He's like, dude, if you get like a half gram or a gram, like, you know how much it's cut? Like, by the time it gets to a gram, it's like 20% coke. And I'm like, yeah, whatever. He's like, yo, I'm going to smoke a cigarette. You coming? Or like, they all leave, and I'm the only one in the bar. And then the bartender's like, oh, they're all smoking a cigarette outside. You should go. I'm like, I don't have a cigarette. I'm like, she's like, I'm sure they'll give you one. It was funny. That girl was sweet, and the guy was like, she's a bitch. When I first walked in the bar, she said something, and then like the guy I was talking to beside me, I guess they knew each other, but he's like, oh, don't even listen to her. She's just a bitch. I'm like, dude, what the fuck? Anyway, so I go outside, and I'm like, what up, guys? Got a cigarette? Yeah. We're smoking. I'm like, I got pre-rolls. You want to smoke that? They're like, yeah, man, we'll smoke that. I'm like, what? We're gonna get hot, boy. Pull out the joint. Here comes a guy, rolls up on his freaking bike. He's all in the white with paint spots on it. I guess he's a painter, and he's talking to him. He's like, yeah. And we start talking to him, and he's like, yeah, I just got out of the bin for pushing H. I'm like, oh, damn. I'm like, that's another cue. So, yo, do you sell? Yeah, yo. Yeah, what do you need? Yo, just a gram and a half. He's like, have you ever worked with the feds? I'm like, dude, no. Or I might have said yeah or something just to be stupid. I was like, yeah, dude, I'm a CIA agent. And he starts talking to the guy beside me. This other guy who came, this guy who I knew from, dude, this guy might cross over, but we'll call this guy Dad. We'll call this guy Dad. And this guy was a dad from, this story might come out. It's in the notes, so this story might come out. And this is a story about getting chased by a group of kids for months straight. Every time we went to go to the Airy baby's house, we would get chased by these group of kids because they wanted to kill us. And it kept getting more and more serious as time went on. And then the leader of that group, this guy, Dad, was his dad. And we knew, but I don't think he knows about that, because that was years ago. That was when we were like in elementary school. So it was good to see him again. But I don't think he knows who I am. I don't think he knows about all that stuff. And who the heck knows where that dude is? Hot water, we'll call him. We'll call him warm water. Warm water, I think, yeah. Warm water. I don't know where warm water and his crew are all at, but it'd be so great to see them again. And so he talks to him. He's like, do you know this guy? Is he cool? And he's like, I don't know this guy. He's cool, but I don't know him. And they're just like, or like he starts joking to him. He's like, do you know this guy? Is he cool? Is he a cop? And the guy's like, dude. Starts joking with him. He's like, dude, I'm being serious. Is he cool? Is he cool? Is he with the cops? He's like, no, I don't know him, dude. Look at him. He's like, I'm like, dude, I'm not with the cops. He's like, whatever. He's like, I don't got anything for you, man. I'm like, and I remember the other guy who was telling me like it's only 20% coke if it's like half a gram or a gram. He was like standing there too, and he heard me like ask him, and he just shook his head like, dude, I just literally just freaking told you. Like, why would you want a gram? Just get the whole 8-ball. Like, whatever. Okay, bye. I'll go find other people. So peace, guys. Peace. Go pay for the beer, whatever, and I'll leave. Red wine, glass of red wine. I got a glass of red wine. That's what I get when I go to the bars. What do you mean? Not all the time. Anyway, so I start walking back home, and look who I see across the street walking the same way. That guy. Let's call him Mon. I see Mon. And I don't know Mon, but I know Mon. Like, I've seen Mon around and had like glances with Mon. Maybe I said hi to Mon years ago in passing while with a bunch of people, and he was there, and then like went off, and I see some other guy with him, and I don't know who that is, but I'm like, I know that guy, and I know he might have some stuff or know people. So I go run across the street. Excuse me, yo, do you know where you could get Yale? He's like, oh, I don't do that anymore, but he might know. And it's this older guy, and I go up to him and I'm like, yo, do you know where I could get Yale? He's like, yeah. Let me call my guy. Gets his phone out. I'm like, uh-oh, here we go. He's like, yo, well, I'm gonna go see my family a bit. I'll be back in half an hour, dude. And I'll like, give me your number. We exchange numbers. He's like, I'll text you. Okay, so I go home. I'll be back here in half an hour. Yeah, I'll be back here. Because I'm like 5 minutes from home. Okay, come back in half an hour, yo, buddy. I call my guy. I'm gonna be there in like 10 minutes. So I come. And he's like, yeah, I called him. He's gonna come. What do you need? 8-ball, blah. Okay. So I go wait at the plaza. And we're waiting. And I'm just patiently waiting. And he's just texting him like, yo, you coming, bro? Yo, you coming, bro? I'm like, yo, we're doing lines tonight, bro. He's like, yeah. And this guy's like an older man. Gray hair. Older man. I'm like, dude, this guy and I, we're going to do lines tonight. Like, I'm just thinking, like, I'm going to give him a few lines and go home and edit my stuff. So finally, the stuff comes. We get in. I'm like, yo, you guys want a line? That's what I always do. I always ask if they want a line. Her a picture of it. And then like North American name and I. We're already hanging out at that point. And I was like, yo, I'll be back. Yo, I got to go give this girl a gift. Because I was like talking so much to that guy. I was telling him the whole story. Motor mouthing. And I'm like, yeah, I got to go give her like a little gift. Because of the shroom and stuff, whatever. And I come back and him and I are like sitting up on the hill where the school is, just overlooking the whole street. And it's like nighttime. We're just talking, doing yay. By the fire station on the big hill, smoking joints out of the pre-roll little case, doing lines off the pre-roll case. And yeah, a car comes speeding by, and I'm like, oh, is that them coming to try to pick up the coke? I don't know. I don't know if it was. So yeah. I was like, hey, all that stuff about, oh man, am I going to like ruin her life with this? It's going to make her fall into an addiction. And I'm like, hey man, it's like a test. She can use it or throw it out. Whatever. She's strong enough anyway. It's not going to ruin her life. She's just going to be like, cool. Maybe she'd rather have a shroom instead, but I don't know. We'll do shrooms in another time. She said she wanted to do shroom tea together. Yeah. Whatever. Anyway. So I think I gotta go to the next day. The very next day. I gotta rewind. Rewind. I gotta go back to the very next day after taking the shroom. The very next day after taking the shroom. I think it was the very next day. Or it could have been literally the day after this. I don't know. I think it was the next day after taking the shroom. I go get... Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll put... there's some stuff I could edit here. But I went to go get boba tea. I'm like, I'm going to go get boba tea first. And then go to Stella's. It's like, the first time was like, I'm going to get boba tea and then go to Stella's. And the next time was like, I'm going to get alcohol and then go to Stella's. And the next time was like, I'm on morphine. I'm going to go to Stella's. Anyway. Just like every time trying to get to Stella's, like... I'm getting higher and higher before I get to you. Anyway, so... I get that boba. And then I'm just... First gonna go sit on a stoop. This big tall stoop. And smoke a joint first. And drink my boba. And I'm gonna go. Because I would get all the poppings. I say blueberry, strawberry, mango, passion fruit, apple, banana, whatever popping. Every popping. And they're like, looks beautiful. They would say, looks so beautiful. And it's like all these colored balls in there. So cool. Looks like a ball pit inside the boba tea, and it's like the greatest thing ever. All the poppings. So when that boba tea's done, you open the cup and you just drink the poppings and pop them all in your mouth. Beautiful. Beautiful. So I'm sitting on that stoop, having my boba, having my joint. Here comes some guy walking down the parking lot, and I see him, and he's looking at me, and I'm looking at him. He comes up and he says, "Hey man, you got a lighter? You got cigarettes?" And I'm like, "Nah, but I got joints. You ready to smoke, buddy?" He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, so I jump off the stoop like a cool dude in the 70s when you jump off the stoop, and it's like a gangster. And then he jumps off, and the camera stops. Like there's like a screenshot. It's like a freeze frame, like with the big guitar chord, and it says like the Warriors, Hugo Stiglitz. And then I was like, "Yo, you want to get cigarettes too?" He's like, "Yeah, let's go. Get your cigarettes. Let's go. Right up there. There's the mall, High Point Mall, right up there. In the convenience store, let's go." We start walking, passing a joint. "Yo, what's good? Blah, blah, what's your name, man?" "My name is this." I forget his name, so we're going to call him Fashion Killer. We got Fashion Killer, bro. Fashion Killer and DeVonQi. We want to get cigarettes. We go up, boom. "What kind of cigarettes you want?" "I don't even care." "Yo, walk in." He's like, "Yo, you got to go in." I'm like, I don't know why the heck he said that, but okay. He felt like he couldn't go in. I don't know. So I went in. I think he didn't say. I think he said, "Should I go get them?" And I was like, "I'll get them." I don't remember what happened. Anyway, I got them, and I come out, and we're like, yeah. He's talking about stuff. We're talking about stuff, what we do and what's good, and we just start smoking a cigarette together. And then a car pulls up right in front of us to park, and I'm like, "Oh, look who it is!" And I walk right up to the window. I'm like, "Nah." And then her and her boyfriend or whatever, like, "Nah." I'm like, and when I got that close, I'm like, "Oh, dude, you look exactly like someone I was just trying to find." I just talked to this girl's sister. I'm like, we'll call her. I gotta nut that name out. We'll call this sister Big Sis. And I'm like, "Big Sis, where the heck is Little Sis?" I just thought of Little Sis and thought, like, yo, I need to find out where Little Sis is. Because she just popped in the head. She just popped in the mind. And I'm like, "Where's Little Sis? What's Little Sis doing? Let me go find her. Hey, Big Sis, where's Little Sis?" Anyway, so I thought it was her, and it wasn't her. So I go, "Sorry." Anyway, so Fashion Killer and I are talking, and we're talking. He's like, "Yo, I'm working on a project. What are you doing?" I'm like, "I'm doing my music and stuff." He's like, "Oh, you're a rapper?" I'm like, "Well, yeah, I can rap, but like, I'm not a rapper. Like, I'm just doing all this Time Machine album, whatever. I'm just doing music, man." He's like, "Cool. I'm other stuff. Dude, I'm just whatever. Life. I'm life. And I'm not life. I am life and death as one. Beautiful, ultimate, beyond that, and not that, and each at the same time." Anyway, this guy says, "I'm going to go do a project tomorrow. I got to go to Toronto, and we got to do a fashion show." I'm like, "Damn." He's like, "Yeah." And he's standing, he's posing. He's doing his Fashion Killer poses. He's like, "Yo, I got to wear this one shirt and these pants and blah, blah, blah." I'm like, "You got pictures of it?" He's like, "Nah, but like my friend's making it. It's his line." I'm like, "Dang, homie. It's going to be cool, bro." He's like, "Yeah." I'm like, yo, that's going to be cool. Fashion Killer. He's like, "Yeah, well, my friends are at the park. We're going to go like get beers. Let's go." So, okay, we go to the park. We get to the park. So, God, my friends aren't here. I'm like, "Ah, damn." And then we keep walking more, smoking more joints, smoking more cigarettes. And then he's like, "Yo, you want to go to the liquor store?" I'm like, "Okay, yeah, let's go to the liquor store." We start walking to the liquor store. And then we're coming up to this shelter, this halfway house that's there. And right when we get to it, he's like, "Oh, you know what? The shelter's right here. Yo, I'm just going to go to the shelter." I'm like, "Dude, I thought we were going to..." "All right, peace, bro. Peace. Props. Peace." And I just I start walking up to the liquor store alone. But I didn't go into the liquor store. I just walk up there and like turned. I was like smoking a joint or something already. So I was like, I'll just walk up, just continue to smoke my joint. And when it was done, I turned around and started walking back. And I start walking back, and I forgot I'm in the space boots, right? I'm in the moon rovers, okay? The moon rovers in sight. So I'm coming from space, and I'm going to space at the same exact time. And I'm not even in space, all at the same time. And I am space. I am the infinite. So I go, and I'm the absolute. And I go walking down. I walk past and I'm still like shroomy, you know? Because it's the day after, so I'm still like shroomy. And I walk, and I get past the shelter again, and some guy sitting on the front stairs of the shelter gets up, and he's like, yo, and he like walks up really quick to me. Like he takes like 3 steps up to me, but he's like pretty far because he's like down the driveway on the stairs. And he looks like he like leans over and looks close. He's like, yo, what shoes are those? He's like, oh. And he starts walking back, and I'm like, what the heck? I'm like, yo, what up? And I start walking up to him, and he's like, yo, I just want to know what shoes I'm. I was like, oh, yo, yeah, these are moon boots. And he starts coming closer. He's like, oh, I thought those were something else. He's like, yo. And he's like, on the phone, he's like, oh, yo, this guy had some sick shoes, and I thought there was something else. He's like, I'm like, yo, so what's up, man? And he's like, yo, I'm off the shrooms right now. Yo, don't worry about me. And we'll call this guy Del Sorte Jr. Actually, yo, this guy looked like Bel Sorte in high school. And I'm like, what's your name? And dude, just because his name is this cool or whatever, it's a cool name, I would say. It could even be beyond cool. And he says Uzi. And I'm like, so we're not going to change that name because that's a cool name. And that's probably a changed name. And he'd probably want us to know him as Uzi. So I'm like, hey, Uzi? He's like, Uzi. I'm like, Uzi. You want to hear a story about shrooms, Uzi? He's like, okay. And this guy's reminding me of Del Sorte. I'm like, damn, this kid's Del Sorte. And I'm just like, yo, this is a funny story, man. So, blah, blah, blah. La, la, la. And there's this girl, Stella, and I'm knocking on her door, and she's not answering. So I'm like, hey, I'm just going to go into her backyard. And he's like, oh, my God. And I'm like, I don't know what possessed me to do that. And I'm going to throw rocks at her window. He's like, oh, my God. And I'm like, yeah, I haven't done that in high school, you know, because it's like, we're like that. That's like our relationship. He's like, yeah, I get it. And I'm like, so then I start leaving, and I turn around, and I see the sliding door is open. And so I just think, I'm going to go in. And he's like, oh, my God. And I'm like, yeah, but it's like that, you know, like we're like families. Like I can just like walk in. Not like I can't just like walk in, but like it's not like as serious as if it was a random house. Like it's more understandable, you know. It's more trustworthy. And so I go up and I'm like, you know what I see in her room? A giant fist-sized shroom in the middle of the ottoman. And he's like, oh my. And I'm like, you know what I did? I ate it. He's like, oh my God. So anyway, we're just laughing about that. Then here comes Fashion Killer. He comes walking outside, smoking a cigar, like, Fashion Killer. He comes up to us and we're just like dapping up. And he says something. Man. And I think he said some dissy stuff to Uzi about me. He's like, yeah, this was whack or some shit like that. I think he said something like that. But I don't know if he said that because like Uzi kind of just laughed like, oh, not to the boy, dude. Not the boy. Like, I think he was referring to me saying like, bro, why are you saying that about this guy? But I don't know. Maybe he was talking about something else. Who knows? Maybe I was just having a little paro attack. Or maybe I was actually on to what he was saying. Because I remember like when we were walking together, some vibes were just like going funny at moments, and he would just kind of like have this like sly like smile like fucking guy, and I'd be like, Fashion Killer, bro, what's you know, like those awkward when you just first meet someone, like there'd be like awkward vibes. And then these two girls walk up to come back home. One cool girl dressed in like super ravey stuff, and another cool girl dressed in and sweatpants. Two like opposite spectrums, just like the tomboy and then the rave dominatrix girl. And I'm like, okay, bye guys, bye. And I told Uzi that story. I was like, walked back up because Fashion Killer went back to the stairs and smoked. I don't know, man. He could have been talking about something else. So I don't want to say what he was saying or if he dissed DeVonQi. Who knows what happened? But if you diss anything, you diss DeVonQi because it's all DeVonQi and it's all beyond DeVonQi. So I just go up to him, props, peace, Fashion Killer, and I go. And yeah, that was the day after. So it was all these mini adventures trying to get to Stella to tell her about stealing the shroom, and it just ended up always becoming another adventure because she was never there. Or, well, these adventures would happen before I even got to her house. Anyway, so there's that. Now I don't know what the heck. So that crossover part with the 8-ball. Yeah. Then we like did it all. Yeah, I'll edit this part. In because like I said all this stuff already. How this crosses over into the Soca Jam story. And then I have this I have this stuff in the notes, but I don't remember how this was supposed to tie into this. Anyway, somehow I was supposed to talk about that whole red pill, MGTOW movement, alpha male, beta male stuff, theta chi. I think it must be in the first time I told this story. So it's probably there, but I was just saying, dude, I'm starting a new movement. It's called #LeaveTheLadiesAlone. And I'm starting another movement. It's called #LeaveTheBoysAlone. So if you guys can't deal with this, we're going to go back to the playground and I'm going to be the teacher and I'm going to boys versus girls tag. You guys leave the boys alone, leave the ladies alone, okay? We're going to act like children. We're going to go back to being children. #LeaveTheLadiesAlone. #LeaveTheBoysAlone. I forget where we're supposed to go with it. I had some other stuff to say about it. I'm not really starting that new movement, but relax. Oh yeah, because I was talking about how like men and women are equal. It's equal, dude. It's equal. #LeaveTheLadiesAlone. #LeaveTheBoysAlone. Let's tell another story. It's like a crossover story. There is another crossover story before this story happened, and that story is going to come maybe next story, or maybe 2 stories later after this. Yeah. Stella hasn't texted back yet, but whatever. So she will. We'll talk again. We texted in each other's hearts. We get it. I did kind of feel, I was like, should I give her coke? Should I? Because she was like, I want a shroom in my straightener. And instead I gave her like an equal amount of coke. So I'll be like 3 little lines amount. I was like, should I give her this? Will it make an addiction start? I'm like, nah, people are strong. I'm like, whatever. I'm like, what would she rather have, a shroom or yayo? I'm like, whatever, dude. Have a yayo. Anyway, later on, that was probably like it looked like a 4-gram shroom. And Later on, I lost like $40 somehow. I don't know. It was like karma all coming back. It was just like balancing out. Who knows if it had to be that way. Anyway, yeah. So then, what? A week later was the Soca Smash crossover episodes, man. Anyway, peace in the Middle East and all the best in the Midwest. Go forth to the north. Open your mouth to the south. Hilk. Yeah, and also Stella was like, yeah, I came in the house and I didn't see the shroom. Like, I thought I was going psychotic. And I'm like, yeah, you were. No. All's fun. Fun times. Brings adventure. Don't go crazy. I did that because it's like, you know, there's like this mutual understanding. Wasn't malicious. All fun. We love each other. You know, wasn't nothing malicious. Maybe a little bit. In a lulzy, funny way. But yeah. Don't just go into people's houses and take things. Unless you want to. Though. Make sure it's all fun and games between everyone. It may always be that way, though your intelligence shall have you know what the proper form of action is. I did that because we know each other very well, you know, like family. Like, it's like that. It's like we can just walk in each other's house and be like, hey, what's for dinner, ma? What you cooking, ma? Your son's here. Your son-in-law's here. Yeah, the son, your long lost, you know what I mean? But type relationship. Like, we've known each other our whole lives. So it's like, well, yeah, I remember the Uber. I told him, like, on Shrooms, I'm like, yeah, you know, like, because I was like, when I would tell people the story, I'm like, you know, it's like that. Because, like, when I would, like, get to the part, like, yeah, and then I, like, walked into her house and stuff, or, like, I hopped her hands, and, like, I would, like, explain, like, you know, because, like, we know each other very well, so it's, like, that, like, our relationship is, like, free like that. And, I remember saying to the Uber driver, I'm like, yeah, like, we're, like, you know, she's, like, my sister, and he's like, no, don't say that. Don't say that. Can't be like. I was like, oh crap. Oh yeah. Okay. I get it. I know what you mean. Yeah, he was really like. He really had some advice, you know. Anyway, beautiful people. Beautiful people. Farewell. Like, it seemed like he thought I was like, hey man, like, yo, coming at him like, yo man, like, I need help with this girl, man, like, I don't know what to do. It seemed like he thought it was like that, so he was like, yo, I'm gonna tell you some advice, man, it's gonna help you. Though we are all equal, there's no difference, as well as there is difference in an equal way. Same, but different between men and women, you know. There'll be a lot of women are below men are below women, this and that, you know, like it's the same. It's the same. There's the MGTOW and the WIGTOW and the BLICTOW. These movements need to chill. Leave the ladies alone. Leave the boys alone. Come on now. It's equal. Like a sequel. Like a prequel. Like a decal on a Nissan, speeding down the street on the Autobahn. I might retell this story.
Hello? Okay, so I gotta put this part at the end of the story. This part happens somewhere at night. Oh my god. Anyway. This part happens somewhere at some nighttime on one of the days. I don't know where. I don't even feel like trying to scour this thing and fit it in between something. So I'm just sticking it on the end. But this part happens like in the middle of the story somewhere. Anyway. And then farewell. Also, I must be recording this like, man, who knows? Maybe 9 months, 10 months later, and I listen to this, I'm like, yo, don't go into someone's house and take a shroom. Like, sometimes I say stupid things in these stories, but you gotta realize, this is watching, listening, and experiencing someone grow. So if I give some advice that sounds stupid, don't listen to it just because I said it, and maybe it's like, oh, that aligns with my logic, so I'm gonna do what Devin said because he said it. He's like, no. Like, I grow. You just watch me grow. You watch yourself grow. So, after I say something stupid in one video, the next video, I'm gonna be grown. And probably not think that way anymore, or feel that way anymore. Anyway. Grow.
So the next day, I'm like, I gotta go back to Stella's again. See if she's there. Because, like, I still wanted to tell her about this shroom. But I'm like, I still wanted to be like, hee, I took the shroom, you know. Well, I couldn't get a hold of her. And the next day, I'm just like, yo, morphine's one of those drugs. Like I totally remembered. I'm like, oh shit, morphine's like one of those drugs, like a hard drug, like heroin and coke and shit. I'm like, damn, I did one of those drugs. So I go back to the weed store, get some more weed, and I go to the bar next door, and I'm telling everyone this story. And I meet this guy, and he wants to hide because his friend works across the street from the bar, and he wants to scare him. And I'm telling him, like, this one girl, and then like those two guys leave, or maybe it was, and then the next day came, I think, and I went back to that same bar, and there was this girl at this table, and I'm at another table on the patio, and I'm talking to her across the patio, and she's like, come sit here, I don't want to scream across the table. And I'm like, go to the table, and I start telling her this story about the shroom, and she starts getting mad, and then she's like, suck my spit, and she leaves, and like, she just ditches me. She was kind of mad because I was talking about another girl, I guess, and I was like, the hell? And some other girl sitting at the other table was like, it's okay, it's okay. Like she went in, she's like, I gotta go to the bathroom. She went in, like, you could tell she was getting like mad, and that I was talking about another girl, and I was like, what the hell? She paid and stormed out of the bar and was like, suck my spit, and just turned around the corner, and this other girl at the other table was like, it's okay, people, okay, it's okay. I'm like, anyway, all right, good night, everybody. I get up and leave, and then I go back home. Let's dance in style, let's dance for a while. Everyone can wait, we're watching the stars, looking for the best, but expecting the worst. Are we gonna drop the ball on that? Let us stay